All right, folks, so it happened again. Oh, well, I guess in a way, two things happened again. First is another Republican debate, so another debate happened. And secondly, Vivek Ramaswamy absolutely mopped the floor with the useless, cowardly, corrupt neocon establishment. You know, at the past, it seemed as though Vivek Ramaswamy was taking a little bit more of a defensive position in these debates, you know, hitting back hard, not exactly a bad strategy, getting hit from all angles and ready to swing back. Well, this time it seemed as though he came with a different tactical approach. Instead of swinging back, instead of counter-striking, he decided, I'm going to go out there and throw the first punch. And boy, that's exactly what he did in the most glorious of fashion. He did not hold back, let's just keep it at that. And as per usual, he hit the freaking nail on the head across the board, causing quite the stir within the Republican establishment. I put together a little compilation for you guys of Vivek's best moments, and then of course, let's have a conversation about them. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Alright folks, so this clip might be a little bit longer than normal, but it's a highlight montage, so boy will it be entertaining. Just take a look. Vivek Ramaswamy, the absolute undisputable, undeniable MVP.
Please make your case. Why should you be the nominee and not the former president?
I think there's something deeper going on in the Republican Party here, and I am upset about what happened last night. We've become a party of losers at the end of the day. It is a cancer in the Republican establishment. Let's speak the truth. I mean, since Ronna McDaniel took over as chairwoman of the RNC in 2017, we have lost 2018, 2020, 2022, no red wave that never came. We got trounced last night in 2023. And I think that we have to have accountability in our party. For that matter, Ron, if you want to come on stage tonight, you want to look the GOP voters in the eye and tell them you resign, I will yield my time to you. And frankly, look, the people there cheering for losing in the Republican Party. Think about who's moderating this debate. This should be Tucker Carlson, Joe Rogan, and Elon Musk. We'd have 10 times the viewership, asking questions that GOP primary voters actually care about and bringing more people into our party. You think the Democrats, and we've got Kristen Welker here, you think the Democrats would actually hire Greg Gutfeld to host a Democratic debate? They wouldn't do it. And so the fact of the matter is, I mean, Kristen, I'm going to use this time because this is actually about you in the media and the corrupt media establishment. Ask you, the Trump-Russia collusion hoax that you pushed on this network for years, was that real or was that Hillary Clinton made up disinformation? Answer the question. Go.
Mr. Roberts.
Sorry. This is how we get our country back. We need accountability because this media rigged the 2016 election. They rigged the 2020 election with the Hunter Biden laptop story.
Mr. Ramaswamy,
and they're going to rig this election.
Your time is up.
Accountability.
Let me turn to Governor Christie.
How do you get TikTok banned if you use it?
Well, I want to laugh at why Nikki Haley didn't answer your question, which is about looking at families in the eye. In the last debate, she made fun of me for actually joining TikTok while her own daughter was actually using the app for a long time. So you might want to take care of your family first.
Leave my daughter out of your voice.
Your adult daughter. The next generation of Americans are using it. And that's actually the point. You have her supporters propping her up. That's fine. Here's the truth.
You're just
the easy
scum.
answer is actually to say that we're just going to ban one app. We got to go further. We have to ban any U.S. company actually transferring U.S. data to the Chinese. Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden, got a $5 million bribe from Ukraine. That's why we're sending $200 billion back to that same country. The fact of the matter is the Republican Party is not that much better. You have the likes of Nikki Haley, who stepped down from her time at the UN. Bankrupt or in debt was her family. Then she becomes a military contractor. She joins the board of Boeing and otherwise, and is now a multimillionaire. So I think that that's wrong when Republicans do it or Democrats do it. That's the choice we face. Do you want a leader from a different generation who's going to put this country first, or do you want Dick Cheney in 3-inch heels?
All right, Mr.
In which case we've got two of them on stage
Mr.
tonight.
Ramaswamy, thank you.
And so to frame this as some kind of battle between good versus evil, don't buy it. And I'd like the likes of the sharpest of the war hawks on Ukraine, Nikki Haley, to have some accountability and answer. Do you want to use U.S. taxpayer money to fund the banning of Christians? That is actually what's happening. They're using the Ukrainian Orthodox Church. They have banned them. The Ukrainian parliament just did this last week, supported by our dollars. And I think you owe it to the American people, Nikki, to at least this
Mr.
one time at least
Ramaswamy,
condemn.
thank you. That's time.
At least to
Mr.
condemn
Ramaswamy,
their
thank
banning
you.
of Christians.
Mr. Ramaswamy,
or else
thank
we're
you.
talking out of both sides
Mr.
of our
Ramaswamy,
mouth.
thank you. We asked the questions.
What we need to do is stop using our military to protect somebody else's border halfway around the world when we're short right here at home. Get serious about protecting this border. And then the other thing that hasn't been discussed is the northern border. I'm the only candidate on the stage, as far as I'm aware, who has actually visited the northern border. There was enough fentanyl that was captured just on the northern border last year to kill 3 million Americans. So we got to just skate to where the puck is going, not just where the puck is. Don't just build the wall, build both walls. Can't just complete the wall, use the military to seal the Swiss cheese for the tunnels that they're actually building underneath that wall.
Thank you,
That's
Mr.
what it needs to be
Ramaswamy.
practical and actually get this job done.
I mean, wow. I don't know about you guys, but I enjoy this new brand of politics thoroughly. Let's not call it a brand, actually. Let's call it a firebrand. Holy moly, what an absolute beast. He held nothing back, and you know what? I have been waiting for somebody to step on that stage and say all the things that have been on my mind. To look Ronna McDaniel in the face, for instance, and to say all that, absolutely based. We don't see accountability. He is totally right. We do not see accountability. Ronna McDaniel assumes the position of RNC chairwoman back in 2017, and speaking of back, we got back-to-back losses, or underperformances, all under her watch, and she's yet to resign. It's absolutely disgraceful. Mitt Romney's little niece, little nepotism hire Ronna McDaniel, should have resigned 2 elections ago. But obviously that's never going to happen because there's a sense of entitlement. You know, politics to these people isn't about performance. It isn't about achieving actual end results, positive end results for voters and constituents. To these people, it's about job title and prestige and power and wealth. And obviously that's the only thing that Ronna McDaniel is interested in, considering how deeply unpopular she is and her history of failure. If she really cared about conservative policies, conservative voters, and most importantly, conservative wins and results, she would have either done 2 things: resign or show an actual willingness to adapt, change, and embrace grassroots political movements happening in the American right. But instead, of course, she does none of that. You know, the sense of entitlement is just disgusting, and based on some of the reports that we're seeing, it really makes clear the dynamic here. Now, this report that I'm going to show you guys from Cassandra McDonald at Timcast is eyewitness testimony, it's hearsay, so just to add that as a disclaimer before we get into it, but apparently a source who was sitting near GOP chairwoman Ronna McDaniel at tonight's debate told Timcast News that she called Vivek Ramaswamy a, quote, a-hole, and declared that the party would not be giving him 1 cent. He's an a-hole, total a-hole, McDaniel said. He's desperate because he's doing bad in the polls. He won't be getting a cent from us. She loudly booed him during his exchange with Nikki Haley. According to the person sitting nearby, she was in complete meltdown mode over Vivek, the source said. This was in the middle of the audience, within earshot of at least 50 people. Vivek's doing poorly in the polls? I don't think so. I think Vivek has performed admirably, especially considering his position as a pariah in the party, at least with the GOP establishment elite. But if this eyewitness report is right, it shows exactly what I've been talking about. Ronna McDaniel is power tripping. She cares more about herself, her title, again, the prestige, the fact that she has the power to move money and control who gets what. She's more interested in her little personal vendettas and her own personal emotional trips rather than what the voters want. Vivek is deeply popular with Republicans, and especially the America First grassroots movement, but Ronna McDaniel says she doesn't care. She doesn't like him, she thinks he's an a-hole, and so she won't give him 1 cent. She's gonna control who gets what. How utterly despicable. That's her reaction to somebody telling the truth for once about her. You know, if that report is true, it shows how deep the corruption is. It shows how the party has these kind of puppet masters who get in these positions due to nepotism. Her uncle's Mitt Romney, therefore she gets to be the RNC chairwoman, and she throws fits when she doesn't get what she wants. She's supposed to be a public servant. She's supposed to be representing the people of the party and their will and their ambitions. Vivek is absolutely on fire. And when it wasn't Ronna McDaniel in his sights, when it wasn't the media and Kristen Walker, I don't really want to go too much into that because I mean, it pretty much speaks for itself. It was Nikki Haley, another very deserving individual. Their little interaction was quite interesting where he called her Dick Cheney and 3-inch heels. Absolutely based. But again, he's right. He's right in framing her as a warmongering hawk. That's who she is. That's how she made her money. That's how she created her career in politics. I mean, it's pretty much her entire brand. I know everything about foreign policy and diplomacy. That's what she loves to present. And then it seems like her answer to everything is strength and war. Let's strike them first and spend billions of dollars on other people's problems. Absolutely idiotic. Then when Vivek Ramaswamy called her out on a clear point of hypocrisy relating to TikTok, he mentioned her daughter. You see just how manipulative Nikki Haley is. Again, she showed her true colors. You know, as if it's this huge moral offense to even reference somebody's child. Even in a completely benign example of hypocrisy relating to TikTok usage, she called him scum. Why? Because she knew he was right. And she'd rather play an emotionally manipulative game as if she's some sort of victim because he merely highlighted her hypocrisy in relation to her daughter's use of the platform. Instead of accepting the fact that he absolutely owned her, she calls him scum and acts as if it was this great offense. Give me a freaking break. I don't know if it's a perception thing. You know, the New York Times just released a ranking of top performances at the GOP debate. They put Nikki Haley at the top and Vivek Ramaswamy at the bottom. I do see some people, or a good chunk of people, supporting Nikki Haley. I don't know if it's a perception thing or what it is, but for me, the contrast seems absolutely clear. I see a bunch of neocon, warmongering, self-interested, career politician hacks, and then I see Vivek Ramaswamy absolutely slapping them, and for me, the image is clear. Vivek Ramaswamy's the man, and the rest of these clowns shouldn't be serving burgers, let alone serving patriotic Republican constituents. Anyways, that's what I got for you guys on this one. Just my perspective. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.